Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy, Football Talk. And today we got the first college football 27 update is here. Man, oh man, I'm super excited for this. Shout out to the man himself, Eric Wayweather, for another great video on college football 27. Man, oh man, let's see. First update. Let's see what they got in store for us. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. Let's go.
First title update of College Football 27 is coming in a couple of days, but EA put the patch notes out tonight.
Okay, so it's coming in a couple of days. Okay.
There's some good news. There's some good fixes in here. There's a little bit of bad as well. I'm going to be honest with you. There's some stuff here that we didn't get that we wanted, so we'll talk
a little bit bad too. Okay.
Hey, college football fans. Welcome to Campus Huddle. Last week, we shared that paid progression options were being removed from Road to Glory and Online Dynasty, and they are officially out as of January 11th. We know that. They removed the microtransactions.
Yep.
Good deal. Today's Campus Huddle follows up that message and shares how progression is designed in College 27, how Dynasty Blueprint and Road to Glory are tuned, more information on Road to Glory progression, and what's coming in the title update. So there's going to be some Dynasty design breakdowns, some Dynasty updates with Coach XP and the recruiting. We've got some Road to Glory fixes, and there's also a few good gameplay fixes.
I wonder if they're going to bring the sliders back.
So let's start with the Dynasty design philosophy. It says Dynasty Blueprint is the core difference between College Football 26 and 27. We know that. Coming out of College 26, one of the clearest pieces of feedback was that rebuilds could become too easy too quickly. Dynasty Blueprint was built to create a deeper, more challenging simulation where long-term building and sustaining a program requires more than just stacking wins. All that's good. I don't have a problem with that. I don't think anybody does, but let's continue. That means coach progression had to support the full Blueprint experience. Coach level is not a legacy score. It is not a direct reflection of wins and losses. Coach levels give you coach points, and coach points are how you choose which skill trees and perks to focus on throughout your career. In College Football 25, the max level was 50. Many players reached that cap early in their career arc, which left them with no additional levels to work towards and no additional coach points to earn. In College 26, we expanded the cap to 100 based on that feedback. Level 75 became roughly equivalent to the maxed out College Football 25 coach in terms of abilities owned, with 25 additional levels added as an in-game progression.
Okay.
The structure continues in College Football 27. The goal is not for every coach to quickly reach level 100. The goal is to give players more years of meaningful coach point decisions across a 20 to 30 year career. The fastest way to advance your coach is to lean into your active coach archetype perk and advance into higher tier archetypes. Each archetype tier rewards more XP, so moving from base archetypes into elite, hybrid, program builder, and CEO paths can significantly accelerate your growth. Your staff matters too. You share in XP earned when other coaches on your staff trigger their active archetype perk, making coordinator hires and staff strength a key part of coach progression. Your accomplishments on field still matter. Winning games, meeting goals, and performing at a high level all contribute to progression, but coach progression is about demonstrating mastery through the system that defines your
So 27
staff, skill trees, program building
is 100 as well, right?
Results. Some abilities can also increase XP gains or reduce ability costs based on your staff, making those decisions another part of your long-term progression strategy. College Football 27 has an annual contract payouts as another way to earn coach points. These payouts scale based on your coach level, prestige, success, and the size of your school. Contract extensions from your current school can increase that payout, creating another meaningful coaching carousel decision. Even at level 100, you cannot unlock every perk. An intentional choice, as no coach can be great at everything, and every decision should matter. Dynasty Blueprint is built around that idea.
I mean, that's fair.
Staff, your school resources, your recruiting strategy, your AD expectations, your program goals, and your long-term decisions all work together. There is no single solved path to building a great program. Just let people play the way they want. I get it. It maybe was too easy to max out or do certain.
Yeah. Okay, I see where he's going with this. I understand why they gave it a certain limit. Especially with 25 only having up to 50, and pretty much, if you played these modes and stuff, you were getting through that within like maybe one session of playing the game. I also agree, just allow people to, if they want to max out their coach, give them the ability to max out their coach. I understand what they're trying to do. They don't want it to be in balance to where you have a god level coach and then others might not have that God level coach. But at the end of the day, you always say this is our game. So in saying that, what you should do is give the option to players that want to have the God level coaches where they're great at everything. But you can also have a system to where it could be locked down. You know, you can't get to that level, but it gives the player an option of which path they want to go to. I think that's what they should do. You know, and maybe if we give a little bit more pushback like we did with the other stuff, maybe they can add that, but we shall see.
Certain things. For the people that want to challenge, they can do that themselves. That's why sliders exist. Put it on slow, put it on slowest. Make your own house rules. It's an offline mode. If people want it to be challenging, they can create that. That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a sandbox.
Facts.
That's what you guys told us. It's our game. I just feel like they're being stubborn and they're trying to dictate the way that they want us to play. And if that was an intentional choice at the beginning because of the microtransactions, well, yeah, they removed them out. We won that battle, and that's great. They removed
Facts.
them. But it feels like they're still being stubborn on this other half where they want to dictate more of how you play. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how big of a deal this is for everybody. I know some people don't like it. Some people probably don't care. I mean, let's be honest. Most people that play Dynasty probably aren't playing even a 10-year plus career. They're just rebuilding.
I'm definitely not, but I can see the people that do want to play those long careers.
That want to do things a certain way. Just give people the freedom. It's a sandbox.
Like having that freedom.
Let people play how they want. Stop trying to dictate that. And you know, maybe if you change this before and never introduced the microtransactions, maybe people wouldn't have looked that deep into it, you know. But now we see like
I don't think people will look deep into this if they didn't have that whole fiasco with paid transactions and stuff.
Now we also got some just Dynasty updates in general, so these are a little good. We are getting some better XP settings at least, but not quite the same that we had last year. It says in the next title update, we're updating the coach XP settings based on feedback. Going forward, we will replace the current sliders with 3 new setting options. So you're gonna have career, the authentic long-term progression, one-time XP, which I believe this is equivalent to what the normal is now. It says that the career setting is the new default coach XP speed setting, and it's intended for the Dynasty Blueprint experience. This is our design vision that truly captures how difficult it can be to build and sustain a program. And look, that's cool. Like, I respect the design decision.
I like
I'm a
that.
big fan of let the creators create. Give us the experience you want. Also give us the freedom to create our own experience. Some people will want to play it your way. Some people want to play it their way. I think that's really all we're asking for. Then there's the simulation slider, which is a balanced coach progression. This gives you 1.25 times XP. This is the best for players who want a realistic pace while still progressing their coach at a bit of a faster rate. So a little bit more of a middle ground. Then you have casual, which is going to be the fastest. This is going to be 1.5 times XP. This is equivalent to the faster setting from College Football 26. So we don't have the true fastest that we had last year. This is, you know, somewhat
so that's the new faster one, the casual.
I mean, if you want to progress, you know, as quickly as possible, this is going to be the setting to use for sure. And it's
I probably would use that.
Take effect in existing Dynasty.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I probably would use that.
So you won't have to start a new one, which at least that's good. It also mentions here that coach XP settings apply to every coach in Dynasty, including CPU coaches. When progression moves too quickly, too many coaches reach high level instability too early. Elite programs separate even faster, and the systems that define the Dynasty blueprint start to matter less. Coach archetypes, staff building, recruiting, AD expectations, school resources, coach points, and long-term program goals. So, I mean, I guess I could see how that could be an issue, which is why you want to have the settings you do. But again, I mean, like, if somebody wants to just play and things go crazy, I mean, that's on them. That you don't have to worry about that. That's on the gamer. And they said this is why the fastest is not returning. The new coach XP speed settings are designed to give players more control over progression pace while preserving the long-term balancing of Dynasty Blueprint. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a game designer, so maybe there is some validity in this, that with the new system that they brought in, because remember, it is a whole new system. It's not like it was the last 2 years. Maybe the fastest would make things go more haywire. I don't know. I'm not a game designer. I just know that
I don't know too much about this. I don't really have like
recruiting updates. This was a big one that I know people were waiting on. It says they adjusted recruiting tuning to improve how CPU controlled teams compete for highly rated recruits. They improved how CPU teams prioritize and retain recruits after extending offers. It says we have tuned the late cycle recruiting scenarios that could leave some recruits without viable offers. And it also says here we wanted to dive deeper into this change. This will be a 2-part fix with the first part coming in tomorrow. And the second, in a future title update, you may still see some recruits not have offers, but you should see a significant reduction in how many are available. Changes should be seen immediately when you log back into your dynasty. However, full changes from this title update will be more evident in your next season or a new dynasty. They also adjusted the recruiting balance to better reflect expected recruiting distributions. They adjusted the offseason player progression to increase across the board. This will result in more players being 90 overall or higher as you get deeper into your dynasties. And it says we'll have a second update that will come in the future title updates that further adjust this to further improve recruiting generation and player progression. They also threw some extra stuff in here. I like when they do extra stuff. It says we also wanted to give you a quick preview of what is coming in a future major title update that we wanted you to get your eyes on. It says they fixed an issue where recruits being pursued by Hawaii could incorrectly receive an F grade for proximity to home. I feel like that's been in the game multiple years. Correct me if I'm wrong. They also fixed an issue where a player's risk of transfer could display incorrectly after making valid NIL offers when the player's current NIL variation was more than double their expectation. I heard some people mention that, so that's good. And they're doing a recruiting budget tuning for all schools in a future update as well. Now we got to talk about Road to Glory. Now I've been seeing on Twitter, it says they're not bringing the sliders back, so let's see what they say here. I mean, if Twitter's saying it, then obviously it's got to be true. It says standalone XP sliders are not returning.
That's a joke, guys.
Road to Glory because progression in College Football 27 is now built around the full structure of the mode. Difficulty, weekly decisions, fitness, NIL.
Wow, wait. So XP is not coming back. It's not returning to Road to Glory because progression in College Football 27 is now built around the full structure of the mode. Difficulty, weekly decisions, fitness, NIL deals, wear and tear, legacy scores, scholarship bonuses, and on-field performance. Ooh, what do you guys think about that? The XP sliders are not returning for Road to Glory. Now, me personally, I didn't really know much about the XP sliders. I'm not like one of those people. I'm a default type of guy. So for the ones out there that do like to adjust sliders and things of that nature, let me know. What do you guys think about this? Let me know. Because like I said, I mean, I would love for more choice in the game that, they say is our game, but if it's not a big deal or it doesn't really creep up into a lot of people's, Road to Glories and stuff like that, or not a lot of people used it, then I can see, But I also know that a lot of people are probably, pissed.
Legacy score, scholarship bonuses, and on-field performance. Oh boy. The weekly agenda is tuned around the full player management loop in College 27. Fitness and leadership both impact how quickly you earn progression XP, giving players more control over growth across the season. Keeping those meters high can accelerate progression while letting them drop, slow it down. Road to Glory also places more weight on difficulty, rewarding players who take on a greater challenge. Wear and tear is
I heard they did reward difficulty more.
One of the mode's progression challenges is removed, so the XP modifier adjusts with it. Difficulty is also a progression lever. Throwing for 500 yards on freshmen and throwing for 500 yards on Heisman are different accomplishments, and in College Football 27, it rewards those accomplishments differently. Higher difficulty creates higher progression opportunities because the challenge is greater, but players can still reach max rating on freshmen over the course of their career. I can see both sides of this. I do think rewarding people for playing on harder difficulty does make sense, but also people that aren't as good at the game, they play on lower difficulty because they're not as good, so they might actually need more help progressing. So I don't know. I can see it both ways there. Again, just let people play how they want, is what I say. Give them the sliders. We've also seen feedback that Road to Glory players can start at a lower overall than they did in 26. This is intentional and tied to how progression is now paced across the full career. College Football 27 adds annual scholarship bonuses to create more off-season progression, with bonuses paying out each year instead of progression being concentrated only at the start of your career or week to week. Playing through high school also matters because skipping high school means skipping the first year progression modifier. Your starting point may look different, but this...
Okay, I want to talk about this because I saw a couple people comment that when they just skipped high school and then their player isn't all he's supposed to be. I want to tell you guys this. Just play high school. Because some of us might didn't play last year or 25. So that's like a practice thing for you to do. And it allows your player to get more XP. So it's like it's not doing any harm. Yeah, for some people they might just want to skip over it, but at the end of the day, if you want your player to be the best that he can be, just play high school, man. And you're probably going to find some fun moments in playing high school as well. You're probably also going to find some moments where it's like, yeah, I can see why this is high school football. But anyway, you're going to find some good moments, and you might find a play on offense that you like to run, or if you're a defensive player where you like, you know what, I can't be a lockdown corner if I do this, do that. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. So I say to the ones out there that do skip the high school thing, don't do that. Just play high school, bro. It ain't that many games. It really ain't. I understand you want to get to college, but it's not that many games, bro. And it's gonna give you more XP than you otherwise would have by skipping. So it's only a benefit in my opinion.
This does not lower what your player can ultimately become. Road to Glory uses overall ceilings tied to legacy score. Increasing your legacy score by proving yourself on the field is part of raising your player's long-term ceiling. We will continue to evaluate Road to Glory progression over time and make tuning adjustments where needed. The core structure, however, is intentional and is the foundation of Road to Glory moving forward. So they're telling you this is what it is moving forward, and it's probably because they're going to be taking it online probably next year. They're setting the stage for it. They're going to bring microtransactions back. They were kind of upfront about that in their apology that will be more upfront in 28 and moving forward. And at that point, for both Dynasty and Road to Glory players, that's just what they're going to have to just take whatever consequences may come with that. Less people might buy the game because they want to have more freedom.
Yeah, that's true.
They want, because you take it online and that's cool. There's a lot of people that want to go online with it, but there's also a lot of people that want to just stay offline. They don't want to deal with playing against other people. They want to just play their offline career, and if their experience is going to be changed because you have some future, vision for the mode, and you're going to take it online, well, your fans, your customers, the players of the game, if they feel differently, they might be like, well, I don't like.
There's definitely going to be a switch when they do take it online.
I'm seeing a lot of people say they're going to take that route because with mods, you can
on PC,
both of these modes that
because you can unlock like pretty much anything and do whatever you want.
I don't know. I think they're being a little stubborn here. I get that they have a vision. I do always respect the creator's vision to a degree, but I think you have to give your fans a way to play how they want, because your messaging for all these years has been it's your game, it's a sandbox. Now you're restricting things, microtransactions or not. You showed people one way, they liked playing that way, and now you changed it. So you got to expect some pushback there.
And that's the thing. Once you've been given like some type of freedom, or it's been free for all, the moment that you start to lock down things is when people are going to give you pushback. Or the moment you take away things is when people are going to give you pushbacks. Like the XP sliders. I'm sure I have not checked. I'm not on Twitter like that, but I'm sure there's comments. And I'm sure there's going to be comments on my video about, did they take away XP sliders, or like, why did they do this? Oh, this is so dumb. I'm not going to buy their product, right? You're going to see that. When they take it online, it's going to be very interesting to see how many people don't buy the game. Like, I don't mean the people that be in the comments that say they're not going to buy the game. I'm not talking about them, because we already know they're going to buy it. They're like the first ones to pre-order. I'm talking about the casual fan that plays the offline mode because they want to be offline. They want to play against the CPU. They don't want to play against other real people. They just rather play how they've been playing for years and years ago. You know what I mean? It's going to be very interesting to see if they can draw that crowd, the offline, like, diehards, onto the online. Because once it moves online, it's just gonna be different. I know they might say, no, it's not gonna be different, we're gonna do this, but it is. It's just plain and simple. It is. And some people like online. Let me not say something. There's lots of people that play Dynasty online. They don't play the offline. They are always online. And for those people, it's not going to be a change. But for the offline people that are not used to this type of change from EA, it's going to be very interesting when they do it. And I mean, I'm going to say they're going to do it next year, 28. That's my prediction. I could be wrong. They could wait. Obviously, with the pushback about the transactions and stuff, maybe they wait a year until like they really are sure about it, and then they put in 29. Who knows? But it's gonna be really interesting to see how the casual fans react to when they, inevitably put it online.
Now, with the Edge position, they are also addressing the issue where Edge players in Road to Glory could fail to trigger position battles required to advance in the depth chart. It says we have an additional fixed plan for next week's title update that should fully resolve this issue. We recommend, if you are encountering this issue, to transfer to another.
How many of you guys are Edge players in Road to Glory?
Available. And we also got some gameplay updates here. It says that defensive package reset during hurry up offense is being addressed. They fix an issue where a custom defensive package selected by the defensive user would not persist if the offense immediately ran hurry up or a no huddle offense. Defensive packages should now remain consistent instead of resetting back to the default package in those situations. They're also addressing the switch stick input delay. They fix an issue where the switch stick could sometimes feel delayed when quickly swapping to different players. Let me know in the comments below, where are you at right now? How do you feel about the situation? Are the sliders something that you use? Are they not something that you really use? Does it affect you? Is this going to affect how you look at the game? Or
well, I already kind of briefly spoke about the sliders thing. Like I said, I'm not one of those people. I don't really know, too much about it. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Were sliders your thing, or did you never touch the sliders and you don't really care? Let me know in the comments down below this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.